Hey everyone, I'm G-Man. There's T-Money working our way through the NFL offseason. Welcome to the June 7th Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly podcast. The 2022 NFL mandatory minicamps start today, T-Money, for 12 teams. The rest of the league starts next week. First time all the teams get together, T-Money, having really resembles live practices, man. You ready?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait, man. Glad to be back in Ohio in my roots. The Cloffice is no more, but we're going to keep giving you great content and, try to give you Cincinnati backgrounds as much as I can here. This one live from the basement. All right. Loving it. So excited for football. Excited for mini camp here. And they got some great stuff to talk about today.
The man is on the move, T-Money. You got to stay with him, everybody. You can't hang with G-Money, but G-Man or T-Money, but hey, press the like and subscribe. We're going to bring along with us on the NFL Rundown Show. I'm G-Man, that's T-Money, bringing you football energy with the June 7th edition of the NFL Rundown, a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Podcast Network, and brought to you by our friends at Boomwise IQ. Hey, T-Money, let's roll into this NFL Rundown. Want to talk to you about Aaron Donald. Just reached a deal. He's now the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, in NFL history. Was he overpaid?
Man, that's a tough question. But they have paid their quarterback and they have most of their team established, and they're just borrowing from future years really here. So I'm okay with him being overpaid on this team. If it was, another team, let's say a team that, is on the brink, Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Cincinnati Bengals, these guys that are going to have to pay their quarterback. They're up against the cap, like the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. Quarterback's most important, offensive line second. This guy, though, I think it may be the best football player, including quarterbacks in the NFL. Quarterbacks are just more important, so he should rightfully be paid that much, but overpaid. Some teams, yes. This team, no, because they're in a Super Bowl window and they're going all in this year, next year. He deserves it. 8 years in a row, or last 8 years he's been here. He's been 17 first team All-Pro. 7 times first team All-Pro. He's just unbelievable. Led the league in sacks since he's got in the league. He's just dominant force. He totally deserves it. But some other teams, yes. Teams like this going all in, no.
Hey, I like that, man. I love your answer. I agree with what you're saying. I think he deserves it. Give it to him, baby. Hey, he stayed with that team. He came out of Pitt. He stayed with that team his entire career. How many times do you see that? The 13th overall pick in the 2014 draft. Like you said, the guy has 8 seasons, all 8. He's in the Pro Bowl. The guy's a stud. He deserves it. I'm with you, man.
Yep. 3 times he's won Defensive Player of the Year. He was with them in St. Louis. I mean, give the guy, he's helped these guys grow the brand so much. He's a force to be reckoned with, needs to be double teamed, sometimes triple teamed on defense. He's just a game changer, totally deserves what he got. He carried these that closed out the Super Bowl with a winning sack on Joe Burrow. I think he deserves every single penny. So good for him.
Yep.
Let's move on to a different topic I got for you here, though. A guy, Trey Lance, up in the Niners camp. Jimmy G has been excused. Looks like he's just rehabbing till he gets ready. Then they're gonna trade this guy. How's Trey Lance gonna fare this year, G-Man? You think he's gonna do well? Is he gonna not live up to expectations? What are your thoughts?
Well, if I had to summarize, I'd say no, he will not live up to expectations. Part of that will be how well is the team going to do? I mean, Rams are still up there ahead of them. The Cardinals finished ahead of the 49ers, although, they didn't do well in the playoffs and San Fran passed them up. So how well is this team going to do? And without Jimmy G, and it will be without Jimmy G. I mean, if I had to guess, Jimmy G is 50-50 chance he could stay. I mean, Shanahan said he expects him to be traded, but it's not a guarantee. So, unless they get a good deal, does he stay and mess it all up for Trey Lance again? I say mess it all up because I know a bunch of you people out there love Trey Lance. You can't wait to get him going. You think he's going to be the superstar, but is he really?
Jimmy G is horrible. Let's move on from that topic of him for some reason taking over Trey Lance's job. They spent 3 first rounders on Trey Lance. It's over. Goodbye, Jimmy G. Good luck throwing interceptions at your next job. It's going to be awesome to watch. Okay. When you don't have one of the best offensive lines, one of the best play callers and run games look, no one else could throw 8 passes and get to a Super Bowl other than Jimmy G or someone from 1972. Okay. So let's not act like this guy's some special football players. That aside.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my God. Don't you care about winning, T-Money? Don't you care about winning?
God. Don't give me
about winning.
That is bull crap. He's been on maybe the best roster for the past 5 years. Okay. Watch Trey Lance come in here and win 10 games and maybe play worse than Jimmy G. But his ceiling is so much higher, it's not even close. He can make the throws Jimmy G can't. He can use his legs. He's a pretty durable guy. I've heard his intelligence is through the roof. He just needs live reps. So I'm excited for this guy. He's going to start out struggling, but I think he's going to do well. I think San Francisco is going to make the playoffs, win 10 games, just because they're that good. Kyle Shanahan's that good. I don't care if he has a good year or not. Do you think he's going to have a better year than Trevor Lawrence? I don't know. I think it'll be about the same.
Yeah, well, it probably would be. Trevor Lawrence is yet to show that he's a pro, superstar. He was supposed to be, the number 1 NFL quarterback by now. He has not shown that. So, he could be better than Trevor Lawrence. But I just think he's got a tough decision. He's in his second year. He's got a tough decision. I'm talking about the 49ers. Can they pass up the Cardinals and the Rams and get in and do what they did again last year? Get in the playoffs and cause some havoc. Hey, let's move on to another situation we got here with a quarterback. Tua's down there in Miami. Miami picks up Tyreek Hill, man. Tyreek Hill moves over to Tua, says he's got the most beautiful ball he's ever seen. What do you think of that?
I think that's a complete joke, but very nice of him to say. I mean, look, Tyreek Hill had Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure he's been thrown in a Pro Bowl or 2 from other guys. I mean, his college quarterback was probably better than Tua. I don't even know where he went, like Western Michigan or something like that. I can't remember where Tyreek went to school, but Oklahoma State, I think, Oregon State. Either way, I don't believe him one bit. I mean, we saw a video of Tua completely underthrowing him. And the Dolphins put it out like, oh my God, wait till you see this connection. Like Tyreek Hill had to stop on a dime and come back to it. He's being nice. And like, what are you going to say? Like, I miss Patrick Mahomes. Like, you can't go from a Lamborghini to a Honda Civic and be like, man, this thing really has just a great kick, right? Like, this is a great kick. Like, hey, Tua's reliable. It's a good car.
It's a great
kick. Not a Lamborghini. So, like, oh man, you can just really feel the tires grip the ground. Like, he's gonna just be nice. Like, yeah,
money.
Thanks for the Honda Civic.
Hey, I've driven a Lamborghini. I don't know about you, but I've driven one, and it does feel different. It's not a Honda Civic. It does feel different. Hey man, my first question is when I heard this is, does he not like Mahomes? Because I'd be ticked if I were Mahomes. Now my wife would call me sensitive, okay, but if he said that and I was Mahomes and he said that, I'd be hurt by that. Hey, Tyreek wanted a payday. Okay, he saw Devontae get his money in a trade. Tyreek wanted the same thing, man. He got what he wanted. Now he's got Miami. Miami, 3rd place in the AFC East behind Buffalo and New England. Now, they going to pass one of those 2 teams? I doubt that, but Tyreek is a stud. I'm not cutting down his talent. No. But hey, man, Tua's got to bring it. They've brought a lot of resources into Miami to support Tua. He's got to bring it this year.
Yeah, I think they passed the Patriots. I think it's going to be both or 8 and 9. Nothing special. I think that's what they're both kind of staring down. It'll come up to who wins those matchups. But yeah, I just think Tyreek's being nice. I mean, that's it. Tua is not known for arm strength. He throws the ball really awkwardly. He's got a really long release. It's just different. So he's like, hey, he's got a pretty ball. Like, okay, it's not the best ball. It's not what he's saying, but it's pretty. It's pretty. It looks cool coming out lefty is what he's saying. So
it does look cool. I got to say that too. And he throws the ball. It does look pretty.
Exactly.
I noticed that. I don't know if it's
But when
because he's
Patrick Mahomes
left-handed.
throws a ball, I drool a little bit out of the left side of my mouth. So there's a big difference between like complimentary and like
But
holy
you do
crap.
that over a lot of things, so I don't know
Yeah.
what that means.
So let's move on to another quarterback, with the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, currently not going to OTAs, is up for a contract extension, has been a league MVP, is clearly invaluable to that organization. Supposedly, the Ravens are letting him come to the table because he is his own agent. He does not have an agent. So they're being very delicate with the situation. What do you make about Lamar's contract extension? Are you concerned he hasn't signed one? What are your thoughts right now?
Well, you just answered all my points in your question. Your question includes all the answers. So. But hey, man, I think they're dedicated to him. He did have a bad season. His value definitely went down. He threw 13 interceptions, 5 as a starter. That's a setback. He did have an injury. So is he out of that? I think they're still dedicated to him. I think they'll get the job done. I don't think there's any issue at all. I'm not going to OTAs. I don't think that's anything. I think that he has an issue with his family to negotiate the contract. His family and friends negotiate his contract for him. I mean, come on, man. That's ridiculous. They're going to get less money than an agent would get.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really weird. And so, I think the biggest thing is when you're not dealing with an agent, you can't start out with a low ball like a lot of times teams do, right? You got to be really respectful. It's going to be a tough discussion, right? Because they're laying out your value. But I think last year they started out 8-3. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC. And then everyone got hurt. Lamar got hurt. I think that it was just an anomaly. I think he's going to come back, have another good year. I think he is invaluable. That offense revolves around him. I think the rumors are that he wants to let the contract run out, get franchise tagged twice, and then sign the largest contract ever, be the best free agent ever available. Better than Kirk Cousins. You saw Kirk Cousins got 3 years fully guaranteed when he did that. Lamar could get 5 years fully guaranteed at $50 million. I mean, a free agent, basically unrestricted. So I guess that's what his thinking is. But I think if I was him, I'd be knocking down the door the way he plays to get a contract signed.
I mean, these guys sign these rookie contracts. They're lower than they would be, after they make it, after they're successful. So they sign these rookie deals where they're lower money. And as other quarterbacks that are not as good as them get deals, they pass them up. So this has happened in several situations that we talk about, these quarterbacks that are young. Lamar's still a young guy, and he's under the rookie contract, so he makes $23 million a year. Whereas you look at some of these other guys making close to 50 a year, and he's going to get there, but it's just because of the timing of his rookie year.
Yeah, he could have signed it last year, but that would have been his agent swaying him to sign one last year, and he didn't. So these are the things you got to deal with when you don't have an agent, is you're getting led the wrong direction. So
I think he's fine. I think the Ravens are fine.
I think so too. I wouldn't worry.
This is going to work out. Lamar's, he wants to win. That guy wants to win. He's staying on that team. There's no problem. Let's go over to a team that may be a problem. Let's go over to Arizona and talk about Kyler. Same kind of situation, right? What do you think about him? And he wants to negotiate now. Everybody wants to negotiate because of Deshaun. Deshaun broke it all loose, man, for these quarterbacks.
Yeah, so with Kyler, I feel a little differently. Now, I think they're going to have to pay him. They're going to have to. They just have to. Because he
is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. So, yeah.
I don't know. What is he, 12th? I don't know about one of the best. We're not talking fantasy football here. I'm talking about, does he win you games? And he got you to the playoffs the first time ever. No, it was only his third year.
He wins games, but the playoffs is an issue.
But I just think he could do better. He trails off at the end of every season. In the playoffs, he was absolutely horrendous. He doesn't want to run now, which I get. He throws a good ball, but running is a dynamic part of who you are. You need to accept
Absolutely.
that, okay? And the fact that he's like doesn't want to do it, I think, is a red flag. I just think, does he deserve it? No. Is he going to get it? Yes. That's kind of where my head's at right now, because who are you going to replace him with? This team's ready-made. They're going all in right now. They're signing free agents. They're, trading away draft picks. Marquise Brown they brought in. This is a ready-made team, so they're going to re-sign him. That's what they're trying to do right now. But I don't think he necessarily deserves one, but I think he's going to get one.
He's another young guy. He came into the NFL, got this deal, got a big signing bonus. And in return for getting this big signing bonus, when he came into the NFL, he's got a low pay this year. So it kind of worked out because he got more up front in his rookie contract. And now he's ticked off because he's not getting that much this year. He's only getting $5 million for the coming year. And so he's all ticked off, not tweeting, throwing up an attitude.
Supposedly he's attended the OTAs. He's been in the building many times. He's working out with people. So the relationship's not as sour as it may have come off on social media. I think he was led astray by his agent there for a second. They got a little too aggressive and over their skis. A lot of these teams are preparing for the draft and free agency. Like, let them get through this. There's a lot more stuff going on, and then they'll sign you in the second half of this offseason. So give it a break. I think they're going to come together. I heard Cardinals GM say that they're going to get a deal done. So
you're going to get it done.
I'm not worried.
Same as the Ravens. I think he'll get it done too.
Yep, exactly. Well, let me ask you this. Another quarterback will move over to Washington, the Commanders. All right. A lot of controversy off the field, but on the field, they have Carson Wentz, the roller coaster that is Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, G-Man? Successful or not successful this year in Washington?
You see those roller coasters that go above the ground and some go below the ground? He's the roller coaster that goes below the ground. I mean, this guy is a disaster. Okay. At one time, potential MVP of the league. He was an MVP frontrunner in 2017, but that was 2017, man. The guy's not doing it anymore. He's too inconsistent. He blew last year for Indianapolis, having one of those last two games, lost both games, the final two games, and they didn't make the playoffs. He did not come through. He did not throw well. He did not perform well in those final two games when they needed him. I think he's an average starter. Watch out, man. I hear Sam Howell's doing it. Sam Howell, the first pick in the 5th round, they get Sam Howell, the quarterback from North Carolina. Watch out. I hear Sam Howell's killing it.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I like Sam Howell. I'm a little concerned because I think Indy is a better team than Washington is. So that concerns me. I do think Carson Wentz is a roller coaster, but man, if that guy just figured out how to not get in his own way and throw so many interceptions or make so many errant plays, he has the skills. He has the talent to be a top quarterback. I'm going to say it's going to be a mediocre year. I think what he did last year in Indy, he was really good for about 10 games, okay for a few, and then really bad for a few, right? And they were right outside the playoffs. That sounds about right for the Commanders this year. So I think that's who he is. I think that MVP season you talk about in Philly that's when he doesn't make mistakes. That's when he can be that elite. That's his skill level. But I just think the mentality he has.
Kurt Warner, the NFL Hall of Famer. Kurt Warner, the NFL Hall of Famer, says he's going to have as much weaponry from a skill standpoint this year that he's ever had in the NFL, even going back to Philly. Saying it's all run down. It's great to be back with you, getting in our rhythm again. Sponsored by Woundwise IQ. And if you love the show like we love you, press the like and subscribe and look for all of our shows and segments wherever you play your podcasts. And check out our website, Father, Son, and Holy Sport.com. Hey, man, check out the merchandise. Go get yourself a golf hat, whatever you like, man. We'll see you next week for the NFL Rundown.
All right, let's jump into this chugging chan here, G.
Hey, I'm G-Man, FT Money here, bringing you sports energy with the June 7th edition of the Chug and Chant. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Podcast Network. Hey, y'all, do us a favor, press the like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. Okay, it's time. Let's go. Let's go see T-Money this time. Take it over for cousin Randy tonight. Let's go see T-Money down in the cellars of Wapakoneta.
What? Oh, he's out. Okay. Hold on. I think. Oh, yeah. Hey, welcome into this week's Chug and Chan. I guess cousin Randy's out sick, so they're catching me off guard here, whooping some buttons, some ping pong. But T-Money's got a little chant for you for my Cincinnati guy, and that's Travis Kelce. So let me give you a chug here. Didn't know this was coming, but had a Keystone laying around. You know how it goes. 1 second, boys. Woo! All right. Just like Travis Kelce is the tight end champ, I'm the ping pong champion. I'm coming to tell you how champs do things. This man deserves a pay raise. I'm sick of it. Right now, he's only the second highest paid tight end, which is ludicrous. He should be number one by a mile. Okay. On top of that, Dallas Goedert makes $100,000 less dollars than him a year. Dallas Goedert. This is Travis freaking Kelce we're talking about. He leads the league in receptions in the last 6 seasons. Yes, including receivers, including Devontae Adams, including Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was on his team. Travis Kelce led the team in receptions, and he makes $15 million a year. 14 a year. Tyreek Hill and these boys are out here making 25+ million a year. This is absurd. I do not understand. Don't tell me it's because wide receivers. Now defensive ends are getting paid this much. All right, I'm over this. Travis Kelce is wildly underpaid. Not only is he leading the league in receptions some years, he's blocking too on defensive on run plays. What are we doing here? Why are tight ends so drastically underpaid here and undervalued? Clearly, Travis Kelce is used more than any tight end. Hey, George Kittle, go get your money too. This is for you too. You can put this on your podcast there, Kittle. But hey, Travis Kelce deserves to be paid $10 million more a year minimum. I know he just came out and said he didn't care. It's not about the money. Well, it is for me. Travis Kelce, you're my boy. Go Cats, baby. You deserve to be paid more. G-Man, what do you think about this?
Hey, T-Money. Impressive chug. You might outdo Randy there with that chug there, T-Money.
Maybe.
That was a great chug. You're looking good, man.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, I agree with you though, man. You say what do I think? Tight ends are undervalued. Yes, absolutely. And especially my man Travis Kelce seeing behind me. I'm a Travis Kelce fan, man. I agree with you, man.
Yeah, it's so insane how underpaid these guys are. I do feel bad. I mean, Travis Kelce is leading the league in reception yards, and he's out here getting paid like a backup corner. Like, what's going on here? I really don't understand how they're so undervalued, because not only are they on the field making receptions like them, but Kittle and Kelce blocking. Kittle's an all-world blocker, and Kelce is out there all the time. I mean, every time blocking for the run. So, like, they're out there every play. They're making a play on the ball all the time, whether they're helping in the run game or catching the ball. It's just shocking that their value is so low.
Let's repeat again. Kelce makes $14 million average per year. Adams, who has more yards than, makes $28 million a year. DeAndre Hopkins, $27 million a year on average. So they're double Kelce, and he's performing above their level.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I just think it's shockingly underpaid. It's just, I don't have an explanation for it. I mean, if Kelce held out and Kittle held out, these guys easily could be making 23 a year at this point. So I would
think is Kelce,
they don't care.
Has not made a big thing out of it. That guy's a leader on that team. You go and just look at the sideline. That guy is a leader on that team. He
Yeah.
does not even say anything about this pay. He's one of the
Yeah.
guys that does not talk about it. But it's going to be interesting to see this year. Kansas City, will they perform? How will they perform without Tyreek? You think they would go a little more toward Kelsey, but they did pick Juju. They got MVS, and they got the new rookie, Sky Moore. What will happen to that offense and my man behind me? Will he take over or be pushed? Will one of these other guys, perform at a high level? Hey, we hope you love the Chug and Chant this week. Special segment brought to you by the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit Podcast Network. If you're on the show, let us know. And if you love the show like we love you, press the like and subscribe. Follow us where you play your podcast.